Coach, tell me a little bit about your career coming up to this moment.
So I've been at it for a long time. I started at Kenilworth Middle School here in Petaluma, and I only coached there 1 year. That team was 14-0, really, really solid basketball team. Unfortunately, most of them ended up playing football or baseball when they got to high school. Took a year off after that, ended up coaching the best decision I've made since I've been a coach, coaching with James Forney at Casa Grande. Started as an assistant, quickly became freshman, then quickly moved my way up to JV. When he passed, took a year off, and then ended up coaching at my alma mater at Petaluma with Scott Bears, where, again, I learned tons of stuff from him. He kind of wore out his welcome there, unfortunately. They made a change, so I left there and then took another year off, basically coached the entire time I was off because I work for a company, North Bay Basketball Academy, based mainly in Marin, but we're also located in Sonoma County. It's a pretty fun company to work for. I work with a lot of other high school coaches. So after that, Tom Bonfigli asked me to join him here when he came 4 years ago. He immediately made me the JV coach. So along the way, I've had a chance to work with some great coaches. James was very influential on me, even though he was much younger than me. Just seeing how on the day-to-day how he dealt with kids and ran his program, and then learned a lot from Scott, and then obviously Tom, the Bondfather, is where I learned a lot of new things and more things about discipline and how the game needs to be run and how to run a program. So I've enjoyed every step of the way. I've been at it for about 15 years. So feel like I've definitely paid my dues, and I'm excited for next year.
Yeah, you mentioned 15 years as a high school basketball coach.
Yeah.
Saw you work with something you founded, Educated Shot.
Yeah, I did. I was doing that as a side business for a while, just training kids. I still do that. Kind of when I got hired by MBBA, that kind of just went away. But I still do a lot of like individual training when I have time. But MBBA definitely keeps me busy. I'm coaching right now, currently coaching an 8th grade boys team, AAU, and then 3rd, 4th grade girls, which is a blast. So I'm enjoying that. It's fun to coach AAU for me because it's not as serious, and you're just trying to teach them how to play the game the right way.
What's the biggest thing you've learned from coaching young children and even high school kids?
The biggest thing I think I've learned, honestly, is that they're all different, and you can't approach them all in the same way. But the best part of all of it, getting to know the kids, forming relationships. Just when this broke yesterday, it was amazing to me the former players that I've engaged with throughout my coaching life that reached out and congratulated me. So it was really cool. But I think that is my favorite aspect of coaching, is getting to know the kids and developing relationships. And a lot of that I got from Coach Forney.
You mentioned your dad earlier. He was legendary coach at Casa Grande.
Yeah.
The gym's named after him. What impact did your father have on your life?
Tremendous, because essentially I was born and raised in that Casa Grande gym. If he was there, I was there. Always shooting. His teams always embraced me as the ball boy, and just kind of came up in that environment. And I always had a choice. Do you want to stay home with mom, or do you want to go to the gym? And I'd always want to go to the gym and be around the players. My dad was just a cool cat, man. He was a fun person to be around. Enjoyed every moment. He unfortunately didn't live a full life. Came down with cancer, and that took his life. And it's been tough on the family for a long time. Mom is still doing her thing. She's the most active older woman I could ever imagine being around.
As you mentioned yesterday, news broke that you are going to be the next head coach here at St. Vincent, and you're succeeding a very, very storied and just insanely legendary coach in North Bay and Sonoma County, the Bondfather, Tom Bonfili. What have you learned from him while coaching with him, and what is going to be your main focus heading into this new season?
I think what I learned from him most is just the discipline of the game and the being consistent at practice, doing things the right way. He just, the way that man's brain works is, it's not normal. I can ask him about something that happened in 1980 and he can quote it verbatim, exactly what happened in what game. And who scored how many points and how many points they won by and all this. He's just a sharp guy. And when he asked me to come, it was a no-brainer to join him and learn as much as I can from him. He's the GOAT. I mean, when you talk about coaches around here, he is the GOAT.
So you come in with kind of a younger team. You lose some key seniors. What's going to be the main focus in this season?
Defense.
Defense.
I love the look of the roster, how well these guys defend. And I think if we're capable of doing what I hope, we will be very tough to beat on a night-to-night basis. But it comes down to, in a 26-game season, you're going to have a couple nights where they just aren't flowing. But can you play through that and win games when you're not playing your best? That's what makes a great team. But defense has always been my belief. That's what I started with at Casa. It's what Scott Bears did at Petaluma. And it's pretty self-explanatory that Tom is probably the best defensive coach ever around here.